morning, PT on Ice Daily Show. This is the PT on Ice Daily Show from the Institute of Clinical Excellence. My name is Guillermo Contreras. I'm a physical therapist in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and I am also a TA for the Fitness Athlete Division of the Institute of Clinical Excellence. For anyone who is interested in joining in the newest cohort of Essential Foundations, the next cohort starts today. So if you haven't already and you are interested, be sure to head on to ptonice.com and sign up for Clinical Management of the Fitness Athlete Essential Foundations. Again, our first meeting is tonight at 7 p.m. Central or 8 p.m. Eastern, or whatever time you live in. So be sure to check it out if you're interested in learning more about the barbell movements, gymnastics, some pull-ups, snatch and clean, and just getting involved with using those techniques and methods to work with either your current patient caseload, or if you're interested in working with fitness athletes, whether that be weightlifters, bodybuilders, powerlifters, or even but CrossFitters as well. So today's topic is something that I wanted to touch upon, kind of a passion of mine for quite a while now, that fell a little bit by the wayside until recent events in our society kind of came to fruition, and I wanted to exemplify it in the quote that's always kind of hit me in a way, and I think we've actually used it before in ICE in one of these PT on Ice shows, but the idea of the best time to plant a tree is 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever it may be. The second best time to plant a tree is right now. And what I want to talk about with that is, especially in the PT profession, how much of an impact we can have in so many different ways that I feel like we are not doing enough of. For me, growing up a little bit, right, I wanted to help youth. When I discovered fitness and exercise and all these things, I wanted to find a way to use fitness to impact people's lives. When I got into college, when I graduated college, when I got into PT school, in my mind, it was always a passion of mine to try and work with inner city youth, work with younger athletes, work with at-risk youth in general, and just give them a place to be, a place to exercise, a place to work out, give them almost like an escape to help develop some mental strength, self-esteem, whatever it may be. There are some really cool programs out there. For example, Steve's Club, which I think Zach Long has mentioned before, is a really cool 501c3 nonprofit organization that just has these small programs where kids can come after school, before school, things like that, but they can go to these local gyms and exercise and just learn about fitness and teamwork and collaboration and mental toughness and all these really cool things. And it gives them a way to be able to pursue health and nutrition and exercise and things that maybe they might not be able to do, whether because of the schools that they go to do not have the funding to have the kind of equipment for it, whether they don't have the coaches or the teachers or anything like that. But it's a really cool organization that allows for kids who are at risk or in underserved populations, gives them the opportunity to experience these things, to dive into it, to learn more about it, and in a way change their lives. We always talk about physical therapists being the movement experts, and I truly believe that when we take the time as physios to learn about movement, to learn about squats and mechanics, and we don't kind of stick with the old school way of thinking of you never squat past parallel, your knees don't go past your toes. Like, if you still believe those things, then please take Clinical Management of the Fitness Athlete, because you got some things I want you to hear, and kind of your mind will be blown when you learn that old adage is no longer relevant, and we want to get people moving. But that's aside. A really great way that we can get involved in these organizations, and the reason I bring Steve's Club up in talking about that is because I feel like we as physios have a really, really cool place right now where we can not only affect these kids' lives by teaching sound mechanics or doing free workshops, or even like getting coaching certifications and working with these kids in that way, but we also have something that we can offer in that when they face injury, they face any type of pain or discomfort, we can go in and teach some things such as pain science education, which again, we don't have to get too technical with kids or youth in general, but we can teach them what's the difference between injury and what is the difference between hurt, between soreness, and coaches can teach that as well. But when we talk about certain things, we can dive in a little bit deeper with them. We can talk about movement workshops, mobility workshops, whether it's new, and I guess this could be my opinion or not, but whether someone is new to the sport of CrossFit, for example, or weightlifting, whether they're new to it or have been doing it for a long time, most people want to get better, right? They don't want to kind of stick with where they're at. They want to stick with their current level of fitness and strength. They want to get better. They want to move more efficiently. They want to move more weight. It's just, I think it's part of human nature. And if we can go in and teach them certain aspects that we understand very well, these mechanics of the shoulder, how the thoracic spine can affect their overhead positioning, if we can go in and teach these things to these programs or directly to these kids, it can make a big difference. It can help them, and we can take our expertise and we can provide our expertise to these programs, to these kids, to these youth, to this population, right? It doesn't have to be just kids. It can be young adults. It can be older adults. No matter who you're trying to affect, we have, I believe, a really great opportunity to be able to provide something that maybe they might not be getting by fitness alone. And it's a little kind of all over the place, but I just want to make sure that what I'm trying to say is that we understand that as physios, we work in the clinic, and especially if you have a heart for it and you want to help change the world in a way, we need to see action. We need to do something, right? We need to get out there. We need to participate in these programs. We need to find programs out there that are doing these things. And I guess like the last thing is we need to start them ourselves. I feel like majority of PTs, we have the opportunity and the resources, whether it be within our clinics or within the community or the connections that we make. If you're part of the ICE crew, if you're part of the ICE family, I know that you believe in the fitness forward mentality. I know that you're already trying to live what we're trying to teach here, right? So taking the things you've already learned, the things you already do on a day-to-day basis, and basically applying that to this population that could really benefit from what you already know. And it doesn't have to be just fitness athletes. Don't get me wrong. That is where my forte is. That's where what I believe strongly in. That's what I practice. But I know plenty of physios out there who practice yoga, who practice Pilates, who are big fans of cycling or running. And who's to say you can't take that passion and that drive and the knowledge you've experienced and gained in those and apply them to the same population? Who says you can't go into your local community where you know that there's young adults or there's kids or there's older adults or there's just populations that are underserved in general, and you can't go in and start a program and try and gain the trust and connection of these communities, and then from there start to build that community out and try and get local community leaders to kind of join in, and they kind of bring other people in, and by word of mouth things spread, and you can't build up a community that then serves these people in a way that maybe they don't know. And then you take what you do know, right? You know movement, you know nutrition, you can start doing these little workshops, helping people in a really big way that might be different from anything they've ever experienced. When you're taking the time to be with these individuals, to share your expertise, to spend time with them, to talk to them, to get to know their lives, to get to know their situations, and you show that you are vested in them and you want to know them and you want to help them, that can be huge for building connections, building networks, and helping with a lot of the issues we have in our society right now. I know that for me, I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Milwaukee, Wisconsin is historically and currently is one of the most segregated cities in the United States. There are even jokes talking about how, I won't even go into it, but it is the most segregated city. Like, gentrification is huge in the city, and it's very unfortunate because it makes it very hard for a lot of individuals to succeed because of either their zip code or their street address. And what can we do? We want to get in those places. So for me personally, my goal is to be able to look at local gyms in the area, try and find people who have open spaces, even find fields and start to do like just open workouts for individuals within the community, and trying to bring in people who are interested in, who might want to do it, who just want to get a little workout, and introduce them to some fitness things, introduce them to some healthier lifestyle habits, some healthier lifestyle choices, and little by little build that network. And then maybe even start up a Steve's Club here in Milwaukee. There's a lot of gyms in the area. There's a lot of people who want to help other individuals and want to see a lot of the issues we see in our country right now go away. So if people, and again, like what do we say in ICE? It's be about it, right? So if people truly want to be about it, we need to take them for that, right? We need to start somewhere, and I think it just takes one of us to be able to push that forward a little bit. And again, this is me talking on this topic, but it doesn't mean that we have to be the coaches or anything like that. Who's to say we can't just go in and find the right people? When you look at your patient caseload, maybe you work with runners, maybe you work with cyclists, maybe you work with fitness athletes, and these individuals, they have coaches or they have communities or they have groups, and they already have a large network. Who's to say you can't connect with them and be the leading force, bringing people together and trying to bring these individuals in? So again, that's one thing I want to touch upon. But the other thing I want to touch upon, if you remember a few weeks back, Morgan Denny did a really great episode on kind of the racial disparities that we see not only in healthcare and things like that, but even in like the PT profession, where the number of Black and Latino physical therapists in our profession is very, very low. We see very few. I believe that it was like 3% or less is other, right? So you have like primarily female Caucasian, and then at the very bottom you have like Blacks, Latinos, everything like that. How do we start to bring our profession up a little bit more? How do we start to see these people come in? And I don't know about all of you, but almost my entire PT class, the reason most of them became physical therapists were because they had a really good experience with a physical therapist. I know me personally, I treat some high school athletes, and I recently had one whose aunt came to see me, and she mentioned to him that she was going to PT, and I found out that even though I thought I had very little impact on him because he was kind of like a closed off kid, it turns out that he's actually looking to pursue physical therapy as a career now. So even when we don't realize it, we can make an impact on people that like put the bug in their head, and it's hard for us to try and reach out and do these things, but what impacts people most, or what people remember, are the things you do and the things you say, right? So if we go in and we start being parts of these communities, we start developing these programs, we start participating in these programs, we start helping bring these programs about, we start teaching them and showing them that we care about them, we want to see them succeed, we want to help them. What bug does that lay in their mind where they're like, you know what, I remember when I was 14 and I did Steve's Club in north side of Milwaukee at this local gym. There was this guy named Guillermo who was a physical therapist, and not only could he like out squat me and beat me in Fran 10 times out of 10 because I'm not actually that fit, but not only was like he in shape and he was a really cool guy and easy to talk to, but like it seemed that what he was doing was really cool. Why don't I aspire to do something like that? Right? And then when they go to if they decide to pursue higher education, they go to college, everything like that, that's in their mind, and they can pursue careers in physical therapy, and we see our career start to grow as far as that the racial diversity, right? We see more African American or Blacks, we see more Hispanics, we see more Latinos, we see all these different races and all these different people from different walks of life, from different upbringings, from different socioeconomic statuses, from everything coming to this profession. Now we have people who know everything and want to work in these areas, and maybe we get that bug in their mind where we make it really important for them to want to give back because of what they were given when they were younger as well. That's one of the biggest things in my life, right? I was very blessed growing up. My mom did everything for us. A lot of really key, strong mentors came into my life at the right time that helped me develop my mindset and kind of my passion for this career. And I am where I am because of them. So who's to say that we cannot be the same thing? Okay, so again, hopefully that wasn't too much rambling and it kind of made sense. If you're interested more, check out stevesclub.com, I believe, or stevesclub.org, or just Google Steve's Club. You can see a lot more about that program. Another really good one that works more with not only at-risk youth, underserved populations, but also works with individuals who are incarcerated and try and get out and trying to change that cycle and completely like disrupt that cycle and get people on career paths is Inner City Weightlifting. I actually jumped on a phone call with John Feynman, who is the founder of Inner City Weightlifting, about 2 weeks ago, and just a wealth of knowledge. And the most important piece of advice he gave me, especially if you're considering anything like this, is just do it. Just start. Just go and like start like even like an outdoor workout, or just go and reach out to people and just get it going. Just do anything to get it started, even if it's just one person you're impacting. That's going to lead to more. Because he said, I mean, and if anyone is in the entrepreneurial world, has their own clinic or anything like that, I've heard it a million times, and probably you might have too, but there is never going to be a perfect time or the right time to do anything, right? There's never going to be a perfect time to start your own clinic. There's never going to be a perfect time to go into business for yourself. So just like that, there's never going to be a perfect time for you to venture out and change someone's life. So just do it. The time is now, right? There's no better time now than to take all the passion you see in the community, in the world right now, take it into heart, and then take that and just bring it out into the world. So hopefully that was something you needed to hear today. If not, hopefully tomorrow is better for you. But appreciate you guys listening and tuning in. Again, if you want to join in on the new cohort of Essential Foundations for Fitness Athlete, starts tonight at 7 p.m. Central Time. Jump on that as soon as you can. And thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you tomorrow.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the PT on Ice Daily Show. If you enjoyed this content, head on over to iTunes and leave us a review. And be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram at the Institute of Clinical Excellence. If you're interested in getting plugged into more ICE content on a weekly basis while earning CEUs from home, check out our virtual ICE online mentorship program at ptonice.com. While you're there, sign up for our Hump Day Hustling newsletter for a free email every Wednesday morning with our top 5 research articles and social media posts that we think are worth reading. Head over to ptonice.com and scroll to the bottom of the page to sign up.